And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty of high school and Georgia Southern basketball to get to. We'll begin with the Eagles, who were entertaining the two teams out of Texas, UT Arlington on Thursday and Texas State on Saturday. Thursday evening, the Georgia Southern Eagles got out to an early lead, and they were able to maintain that for almost all of the first half and most of the second half, and then about midway through, UT Arlington made a run, and the Eagles weren't able to hold on. They ended up losing that game, but then they were able to respond nicely, taking on Texas State, who's been red hot lately, one of the top teams in the Sun Belt Conference. They end up getting out to an early lead there and holding on to win. So now with the victory and the split at home, Georgia Southern is now 5-3 in Sun Belt play, right there in the mix. As for the ladies, not much luck. They lose both of their games in Texas, and now they are 0-8 in league play. We'll get to the highlights of Georgia Southern for you in just a minute for the guys' games. As for our area high schools, things not looking too good for the Statesboro Blue Devils. The girls had come in with a perfect record in region play and had only lost one game on the season. We're 21-1 on the year. Until this past week when they were hosting Wayne County, Statesboro unable to close. They lose that one in overtime and then go on the road to Ware County, who they had beaten by 25 points earlier in the season at home. They lose that one by 2, and now with those losses, Statesboro, if they win on Tuesday at South Effingham, they'll be in a three-way tie for first place in the region, and a coin flip will decide where the region tournament will be held, as the boys and girls region tournament will be held at whoever is the champion of the regular season in the region for the girls. As for the guys, they lost a heartbreaker at home as well, so a rare sweep at home against Statesboro High. The boys end up losing by 1, had a chance at the buzzer, but were unable to hit. They lose 53-52. They went on the road and won at Ware County. It looks like right now they'll be the 2 or the 3 seed in the region tournament. Statesboro closes the year at South Effingham on Tuesday. We'll have highlights of the Wayne County game for you, as well as Bulloch Academy highlights against Pinewood, a packed house at Gator Alley for Bulloch Academy and Pinewood. The girls back and forth a lot. They end up losing in that one 40-34. And then the boys, they were able to win pretty handily in that one with leading the way for Bulloch Academy. No surprise, Peerless Brown ends up with 32 points, outdueling Ethan Duckworth for Pinewood, who had 31 in the game. Next up for Bulloch Academy, the Gators will be home against Hilton Head Christian on Tuesday. As for the Portal Panthers, they'll be home against Savannah Christian on Tuesday. Statesboro, as we mentioned, at South Effingham. Southeast Bulloch will be home against Groves. They lost to Johnson. We'll have highlights of that game for you coming up. Then on Friday, Portal will be at Calvary. Southeast Bulloch home against Savannah High in a big region matchup. Bulloch Academy will be at Frederica. Then Saturday, Portal home against Jenkins County, and Southeast Bulloch will be at Bryan County to wrap up the regular season, as the region tournaments will all start next week. All right, plenty to come. We'll have highlights coming up next. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles with a couple of big games at home at Hanner Fieldhouse Thursday night. They were hosting UT Arlington, and then on Saturday at 5 o'clock tip, they were taking on Texas State. Let's get out and take a look at the highlights. The Georgia Southern men hosting UT Arlington Thursday at Hanner Fieldhouse. Things going well early on. Quan Jackson hits the pull-up jumper. Next, Tukey Brown pulls up for two. Isaiah Crowley driving in for two. Simeon Carter finding the bank open late. And then it's Elijah McCadden driving and getting the reverse to fall. Eagles up by two. David Lee Jones then with the double pump baseline jumper that will fall. Eagles by three, and then Jackson on the break with a two-handed flush. Georgia Southern takes a 9-point lead, but the Mavericks making a run. Pedro Castro hits the fadeaway. The Eagles right back. There's a nice turnaround jumper there by Carter. Then outside we go. David Lee Jones hits the three. Eagles by 12. Calvin Wishard adds a three himself, but again the Mavericks come back. Tiandre Jackson-Young for three, and we go to the half with Georgia Southern leading 37-31. To the second half we go. It's Monte Glenn, 2 of his 10 points in the game. Tukey Brown then able to drop the reverse. He finished with only 11 points. Crowley then drives for 2 of his 10. 5 Eagles in double figures. Glenn then hitting another jumper. Eagles up by 9, but the Mavericks not going away as they'll start the comeback with the jam inside. The Eagles try and respond with the Daniels reverse. But down 3, Brian Warren will tie things up with this 3. He'd finish with 14 points. And then it's Rashad Davis off the steal. And the Mavericks would come back to win this one 72-67. So to Saturday we go, and the Eagle football team honored for their Camellia Bowl victory as the basketball Eagles hosting Texas State. Tukey Brown helping to set the tone early on. Penetrating for 2. Next, David Lee Jones, the pull-up jumper. Simeon Carter will knock down the runner here. The Eagles take an 8-point lead. Texas State tries to come back as Nigel Pearson hits inside, and then Pearson later 2 of his 25 points. But the Eagles right back. McCadden will hit the 3. Then Crowley, the nice up and under. Tukey Brown leading the way for Georgia Southern with 17 points. Here he'll drive in for the layup. Next, it's Quan Jackson for 3. Inside we go. Crowley hits for 2. And then McCadden with a good night. He'd have 15 points. Monte Glenn adds 13 along with 10 rebounds, and the Eagles win 74-58. Next up for Georgia Southern, they'll be at Georgia State on Saturday. The women will be hosting Georgia State Saturday. All right, stay with us. Coming up next, we'll head out for some high school hoops.
What does it mean to have financial freedom?
At Queensboro Wealth Management, we're helping people figure that out.
And giving them a plan to get there.
If you have a desire to take control of your finances and live with financial purpose,
We
will use every bit of our knowledge to help you.
and there's no cost to get started.
Download a free kit from our website, then give any of us a call. QWM is Queensboro Wealth Management. Let's begin today.
Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998. Providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy. In-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, in-house lab. And introducing our new nurse practitioner, Melissa Beasley, as we now accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. Well, a couple of big games for the Statesboro Blue Devils this past Friday. They were hosting Wayne County, unfortunately, both losing in heartbreaking fashion. Let's send you back out for the highlights. Statesboro High hosting Wayne County. A win would secure home court in the region tournament. First half, Lacey Robbins off the tip ball, going in for two. Next, Alexis Ward able to hit the runner, gets a friendly bounce, and then Bailey Roberts with the rebound and the putback off the glass. Wayne County keeps it close as Terrell Ward hits the jumper. Back come the Blue Devils as Jemiah Jones will get this one to fall. Then Robbins for three from the top of the key. Sarah Ellis adds a three-pointer herself. And then Robbins three more as Statesboro opens up a 19-15 lead. Second half, more from Robbins, two more of her 24 points. Robbins then gets the hoop and the foul. And then Robbins gets the runner to fall. Statesboro up by 11. Alexis Ward then drains the three, but the Yellow Jackets coming back behind Ward. They tie the game here at 43 all. Statesboro gets off a good shot before the buzzer, but it's no good, and we go to overtime, where Statesboro was without Robbins, who fouled out. Ward hits two more of her 28 points. Statesboro able to tie the game briefly on this three by Ellis, but again, it's Ward on the other end, getting her own rebound and putback, and the Blue Devils fall 52-48. Between games, the Statesboro seniors recognized before the boys and Wayne County got things underway. It's Zarion Griffin starting things off with the three-pointer. Next, it's Joe Burns from behind the arc. Kobe Altman adds a corner three himself. Statesboro up by 6, but the Yellow Jackets showing they can hit from long range as well. Anthony Grant here for three. Statesboro back as Jalen Hicks pulls up for two. Next, it's big Chris Hill on the run. He's able to finish with the reverse on the break. And then it's Fred Adams driving in for two. Again, back come the Jackets. Amari Harris for two. And the Jackets take a 2-point lead into the half. Statesboro on a run in the second half. Griffin, the runner. Next, Griffin knifes his way in for two more of his 19 points. Burns then gets this one to fall. Statesboro up by 4, and then check out Griffin somehow getting the reverse to drop. Griffin then hits the three, but the Yellow Jackets make a run themselves. Marcus Trice will cut the lead to 2. Statesboro back with Kobe Altman hitting the three. And then Jacoby Edenfield hits from the other side. But again, the Jackets respond. The dunk at the buzzer at the end of the third by Grant ties the game at 43. In the fourth, Devin Michael wakes up here inside for two. Next, it's Griffin hitting the three and the foul, but he'd missed the free throw, and the Blue Devils only 7 for 17 on the night from the free throw line, opening the door for Wayne. Michael tries to close it with two more, but Grant answers, tying the game with this three. Michael once again gives Statesboro a 2-point lead with 15 seconds remaining, but with 5 seconds left, it's Grant for three. Wayne County up by one. Statesboro with a final shot by Zarion Griffin, but it won't fall, and Statesboro loses 54-53. So as we mentioned earlier, Statesboro High wraps up the regular season on the road at South Effingham on Tuesday. Then we'll have to wait to see the coin flip for the girls to see whether they'll be hosting or be on the road at either Waycross or Jessup. All right, stay with us. More high school hoops coming up next.
At Badcock, no credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
Well, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets with their hands full this past weekend as they were hosting Johnson on Friday night and then Islands on Saturday. Let's send you out for some of the highlights from the Johnson game. Southeast Bulloch hosting Johnson Friday night. This one all Adams Smashers. Zariah Mobley on the break for two. Johnson up 52-14. Next, Antalazia Baker hits inside. Then it's Jasmine Thompson extending the Johnson lead. The Jackets not quitting though. Cameron Batten hits here. Next, more from Batten as she gets this one to fall. But the Adams Smashers too much, off the miss. Mobley with two more, and Johnson rolls 65-19. To the boys' game we go, and the Jackets keeping this one close in the first half. Russell Williams buries the baseline three. Next, on the break, pass ahead to Tyler Bailey for the layup. Johnson coming back. Off the steal, ahead to Robbie Brandom. The Jackets respond with Ryan Swanson from NBA range. He'd finished with 14 points. Again, Johnson right back. Brandon Harris hits 3 of his 22, and then with 2 more, Johnson goes up by 11, but the Jackets then go on a run. Bernard Mike, 2 of his 14. Tyler Bailey then hits the 3. Mike then cuts the lead to 6 with the layup. But back come the Smashers. Michael Graham for 2. And then Harris hits for 3 more. And Johnson wins 84-59. Well, the good news, the Yellow Jackets able to sweep Islands there on Saturday. Next up for Southeast Bulloch, they'll host Groves on Tuesday. And then Friday, they'll be hosting Savannah High. And then Saturday, they'll wrap up the regular season at Bryan County. Stay with us. More high school hoops coming up next. Come visit us locally here in Statesboro at Piedmont Loop beside Walmart.
Friday night lights to early morning deer stands, Anderson's General Store in Statesboro is your tailgating and hunting headquarters. Boots from Ariat, Georgia Boot, Irish Setter, Wolverine, and more, we have a pair for you. Check out our Costa and Ray-Ban sunglasses. And apparel from Columbia, Carhartt, and Drake. Dove, ducks, deer, we have all your hunting needs. And tailgate with a Big Green Egg or Traeger grill. Pack in the flavor with delicious sauces and rubs. Haul it all home with a utility trailer. Anderson's General Store, a general store, and so much more.
Well, it's always an exciting game when the Bulloch Academy Gators host Pinewood or travel to Pinewood for that matter. You're going to get good crowds and usually some good games. Bulloch Academy unable to win the girls game, were able to win the boys. Let's get out and see some of the highlights. Bulloch Academy hosting their rivals from Belleville as a packed house for Pinewood and BA. The Patriots leading early on, but the Gators in this low-scoring first quarter get a bank shot three by Casey Ricketts to take a 5-4 lead, only to see Pinewood come right back as they take an 8-5 lead at the end of the first. In the second, they continue to lead and take a 19-10 halftime lead. Ricketts with three more of her 11 points in the second half, and then Madeline Cowart will drive in for the layup. Allie Beth Presley will add two herself here, but the Patriots just too much. Ansley Howard finishing a couple of times inside with layups, and the Patriots go on to win this one by a final count of 40-32. To the boys game we go, and the Gators in control. Don Aaron will drain the three from the top of the key. Next, Peerless Brown left open, and he hits the easy two. And on the break, Matt Childers will drop it off to Ty Mingle for 2 points. Pinewood comes back behind the long-range shooting of Ethan Duckworth. He'd finished with 31 points, but BA answers with Brown. First the fadeaway from the baseline, and then Brown pulls up for three more of his game-high 32 points. BA up by 14 at the half. Second half, Mingle, two and the foul. He finished with 16 points. Next, Childers on the break for two. And finally, it's Childers hitting the three-pointer as BA wins 74-62. The bad news continues for the girls there as they lost to Westfield by two. They had earlier, a week and a half ago, they beat Westfield at home by 20 points. So the struggles continue for the Bulloch Academy girls. They'll be hosting Hilton Head Christian there on Tuesday and then at Frederica on Friday. As for the Portal Panthers, mentioned in the beginning, Portal will be hosting Savannah Christian on Tuesday. Then Portal will be hosting Jenkins County on Saturday. And that'll wrap it up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.